Danishes, right?
Danishes.
Let's read that recipe for
Okay.
Danishes. For the Danishes, you need 1 1/3 cup water, 1 tablespoon yeast, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 cups white flour, 2 cups whole wheat flour, 1/3 cup Florida crystals, and 1/4 cup oil. Well, I'm real excited, Rob, to learn how to make a Danish.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's what we've come here to do.
That seems pretty exotic to me. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty easy. The difference between here is this is a little sweeter. We added some Florida crystals.
Right.
You can also get sucanette. We try to stay away from the refined product
Yes.
as much as possible.
Okay.
So Florida crystals has some more of the trace elements and minerals and stuff that God put in there. We try not to take those out. So that's the big difference. And there is a little bit of oil in there, as you read
Okay.
off,
Okay,
and
right.
a little bit of white flour to make it a little softer as well.
Yes, right. And we did the same process with this, right? We mixed the flour in the water and let it set for 2 hours.
Exactly.
And then we added the yeast and all the other stuff and then
Exactly.
mixed it for 10 minutes. We did the hard work for you guys.
Right.
It's kind of nice, yeah.
So we're about ready to roll this out, but before we do that, we need to get some filling made.
That's right. For the filling here, we're going to invite Nick to come. And Nick is an alumnus of the Vegan Culinary School there at AUC.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm excited. He's going to be on the program with us here. Why don't you come on, Nick? Now, you came down from Berrien Springs, Michigan, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, and when did you graduate from the program there?
About a year ago.
A year ago, okay. And your name is Nick?
Rayner.
Rayner, okay. Very good. Now, tell me what you liked about the program.
I've always enjoyed cooking and learning some of the finer points of cooking and baking
That's
was
awesome.
really good for me.
That's good.
It taught me to be a little bit more creative
Yeah, that's
in the
cool.
presentation of food.
That's
How
awesome.
important that is.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, show us how to make this this filling. First, we need to read a recipe, don't we? Let's read the recipe first for this
Yes.
filling. You want to read that first, Rob?
Sure. That's 1 cup of water, a 1/2 cup of oil, 2 cups of tofu, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of white flour.
All right, good. Well, you got to step over here, right, to blend and show us how to do that, Nick. All right.
All right. First, we're going to start by putting everything except for the flour and the sugar in a blender,
Okay.
in a Vitamix.
That's pretty
That's
easy.
what
I
we
can handle that.
I didn't get a spatula.
A
We
spatula,
can get
here
you
you
a
go.
spatula.
There we
There
go.
you go.
See how much you get in the cup and not on the counter.
That's right. So this is just, is this water-packed tofu or what type of tofu is this?
This is water packed.
Water-packed? Okay.
Ideally, it would be Morinu because that's more creamy.
Which is a silken variety.
Correct, correct. So that would lend less of a flavor of the tofu, but we'll put it in lemon juice and things
Okay.
to help cut that flavor. But
Right.
silken would be the best.
All right, good. And we're just adding all those ingredients in there. Yeah. Now you do lots of work in the, you think you do more in the program baking or more blending, more cutting, more, what do you think's the...
Me personally, I'm more of the baker. I like to do the bread and the artesian breads, and this
Yes.
for me is more of the pastry aspect.
Yeah?
And,
Well, that's
so
pretty
I
nice,
like
too.
the bread, and it
Yeah.
keeps me a slim trim.
That's right. Okay, we're going to make some noise.
Okay.
Okay, good. So what are we doing there? You were
We
saying-
wanted to make this nice and smooth so that we'll have a creamy filling.
Okay, that's important. You don't want lumpy filling in your Danishes, huh?
And then we're going to come over here to the pot.
Okay. Now we're not adding the sugar then, Nick.
We're adding the sugar once we start to cook it.
Oh, now
sugar
that's a
gets
neat
cooked.
trick. Okay.
Oh, I almost gave you my flour.
Whoops.
That's a problem, huh?
That would be too much.
That would be way too much. My
There you go.
spatula.
There you go.
So we're just going to get this burner on.
I think it's the front one.
Yep.
The front one?
The
Nope.
front one there.
Oh, here.
There you go. Yeah,
There we go.
there you go.
Bring this over here.
I like gas because it just turns on like that.
It is.
That's the cook's best friend.
Yeah, there you go. And then you just put it in, and then what are we trying to do with it? Bring it to a boil, or what are you doing?
We bring it to a boil so that the flour will gelatinize.
Ah, so it's your thickening agent. Okay. Yeah.
So we want to get that in there.
And we don't add the sugar yet.
And we do.
Oh, we add the sugar now.
The sugar and the flour.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
They didn't all get in.
You get all that in. You need it all. Now, were we using Florida crystals? What were we using?
Yes.
Okay.
We're using Florida crystals because of the, and there is a lot, this does have a lot of sugar, and
Yes.
you know, feel free after you've made it once to go ahead and cut back on the recipe a little bit on the sugar if it's too sweet for you.
Okay.
And you can adjust the lemon as well. But this makes a very good,
Very nice.
you know what I like about this recipe is there's a lot of our students who come to us and they're not vegans.
Yes.
And I'll go up to them frequently and say, so how do you like tofu?
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, I don't like tofu
Icky, I don't
at
like
all.
it. It's
Yeah.
nasty, right?
And so I'll say, well, enjoy your Danish. And then I'll just walk away. And they don't know because
Right.
it's loaded with tofu, but it's,
Right. But it
it's a
tastes
nice
good.
Bavarian cream.
Yeah.
While he's doing that,
Yeah, show us what we're doing
what
here.
I'd like to do is go ahead and roll out the Danish. I need my dough knife.
Your dough knife.
It's probably, I got it.
You got it?
And we're going to
Okay.
put down a little bit of flour.
Okay.
Isn't this fun?
It is, I know.
Again, we're going to flatten it out, moving those colonies around, breaking
That's right.
up those big
The
air
families.
bubbles, making them smaller.
That's
Now,
right.
this one we want pretty thin. Now, we're not going to be able to throw this one around.
Oh, I was just getting into that throwing thing.
Yeah. This is going to be a little bit thinner, and even on your
Okay.
fist, you'd probably rip a hole in.
Okay, yeah.
So the yeast has been actively working as we've been sitting here and talking.
Right.
It's been eating sugar.
Ooh.
It gets that sugar.
Okay.
You know, in that first recipe, in the whole wheat recipe, there was no sugar. But the starch in the wheat turns into a simple sugar called glucose,
Okay.
and that is enough to feed it. Now,
Okay.
why we would add sugar is for taste,
Oh, yeah. There you
and
go.
so that it browns. It does also give you more volume,
Yeah.
and it does a lot of things. It holds on to moisture.
Yeah.
We want to try to keep this as square as possible, too, and I don't want it to
Okay.
stick
Yes.
to the table.
Yes, all right.
So I keep on just I throw it on that
Moving it.
flour to
Getting more flour under it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it sticks, then when we try to pick it up, it'll
Yes.
distort the shape.
Yeah.
See, it's sticking there.
It is. Boy, this is a problem.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Very nice.
So we'll just keep on getting this thin. Now, I'd say this is probably between 1/4 and 1/16 of
Okay.
an inch thick.
Okay.
So it's rather thin.
Yes.
Now,
Now what do we do?
we're going to kind of we're going to make sure it's not sticking, which it is a little bit.
Okay.
And then
That's pretty cool. I can't wait to eat these. I'm excited about this.
people like this the most. Now we're going to get out our, this is not one of my best friends, but for Danishes, I pull it out. And a pizza cutter.
Oh, there you
We'll
go.
be using
All
later.
right.
Now what I do is I make this 5 by 5. So what I'll
Okay.
do is I'll just in increments of 5, 5, 10, 15,
Okay.
and then I'm going to do this again going this
Cool.
way.
And you
5,
clean this too, so you don't have to worry at home.
15.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to
So
now-
why are we doing increments of 5?
if you want it bigger, then you just want a
Oh,
square.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
we're making little square pieces of dough.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
So now,
Are you thickening, Nick? Is it thickening over here?
It's
trying. Yep.
starting to.
Okay. All right. The tofu was cold. That takes a long time to thicken then. Yeah.
we're just making.
Oh, yeah, they are perfect squares. I like that. Very
Okay, so
good.
now
This
we
is
have
fun.
the squares. Now, in addition to putting in the filling, we're going to put in some fruit. And it's fun with the fruit because then it adds a dimension of color. So you can add
Yes.
all kinds of different colors.
Yes.
Peaches, strawberries, blueberries.
That sounds
Delicious.
good. Yeah. Well, we're going to read that recipe while you finish stirring here. We're going to read that recipe
Good.
for the fruit filling to put in this. For the Danish fruit filling, you need 3 cups blueberries, 1 cup pineapple juice, 1/3 cup water, and 2 tablespoons cornstarch. All right, we have our Danish filling all done. Yeah, it's nice and thick. You can see that. I like that. And then you have the fruit sauce over
We
there.
have the fruit, and so this is basically just fruit and a little bit of pineapple juice to sweeten it naturally, and then we put in a little bit of Florida crystals and cornstarch to thicken it up. Now we just need to put all these components together and make a delicious dessert.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so what we're going to do is put this over here. Now we don't need that whisk anymore. And maybe, Jill, you can just put like a tablespoon of that right in the middle.
Okay.
And then,
That's good.
Nick, if you could follow up with the blueberry. And then I'll follow up with the strawberry. So one will be blueberry, one will be strawberry. That way you have the different color contrast because it makes it so much prettier that way.
Oh, it looks nice. This reminds me of baking with my grandma.
Everybody loves Danishes.
Yeah. And I like this because it's a healthy alternative here. Am I putting enough or too much?
I think you're putting it just the right amount. You can't put too much and then it'll bake out.
Okay, right. Boy,
So,
that looks good.
yeah, they are kind of laborious to make. I don't like to make these too much because if you have 300 students and everybody wants 3, then it really adds up as far as the time. Because this is all hand done, and so it gets kind of laborious.
Yes. Boy, it looks good. Just the fruit itself looks so good to me. I love fruit. My husband, Greg, really loves fruit, so I'll have to bring him some. He'd really like that.
He would. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the 4 corners, the opposite corners.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to then pinch it just underneath the top.
Oh, so you don't pinch the end?
No.
No, why is that?
Because you're about to see it's sticking. My hands are too wet, so now it's sticking to my hands. Now we're going to pull it apart a little bit, like petals of a flower.
Oh, pretty.
So that's how you do it.
I love it.
So now it's your turn. I'm the instructor. You're the
And you're a graduate, so I'm at a disadvantage here.
Okay, but we can all do it together.
I pull this up here, right?
Yes. Bring them together.
And then this side.
We're in mass production right now.
Absolutely. Oh, very fun. And then I pinch it beneath.
Beneath.
Oh, boy.
If your hands are a little too sticky, mine's are a little too sticky too, but if you get too much flour on your hands,
then it won't stick together.
Then it won't stick at all. So it's a fine line.
Boy, I'm slow at this. How's that?
That's beautiful.
Is that
looks
acceptable?
like a master.
I don't think
Our
so.
dough is sticking a little bit to the table. So,
Okay.
and that will distort it.
Right, yeah.
So I'm trying to remove it. Is yours sticking there?
A little bit.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Having problems. Now, you have students helping you in the calf there?
Yes.
At the college?
Yes.
Okay.
We have culinary students helping us, and then we have student help. That helps as well.
Yeah, that's all. So they get practical training when they go through the program.
Exactly.
I like that.
That's very important.
Yeah, that's right.
So then we will...
Okay.
Let me get this pan out.
They're so cute. I love that.
They bake up very nice.
Yeah.
And this one, because it's stuck to the table, it swells out, and that one will really swell. Everybody will want that one.
Oh, yeah, because it'll look really good.
It have the most filling.
Yes.
So now we want to
gingerly
pick
get them
these
off.
up.
Oh, it came off pretty good.
That's why that's my friend.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, I dropped
That's a good friend. So you've already sprayed this cookie sheet?
It is. It's been sprayed just lightly. You don't want to use too much.
Okay. And what do we bake it at?
These will be baked at about 350 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes. It depends on your oven. I don't like to put hard things hard and fast.
This is an art.
This is an art. And so what you want them to be, Jill, is just lightly browned a little bit on the top, and make sure that it's consistent around. So when it's lightly brown on the top, that the bottom would be the same way underneath.
Okay. Yes.
So you want to show them what it looks like?
You guys got to see these. I have been waiting the whole program to eat these. Ooh, boy, that looks good.
Yeah, so we have the strawberry and the blueberry inside there, and you can see the color. So you want about that color. There you go. Yes.
Boy, they look good.
Well, what's it like?
I could eat the whole thing.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Very good. So that's what we do there at Atlantic Union College. We we have a philosophy, you know, in most culinary schools, you just go ahead and enjoy. I think the stresses are that it looks good and it tastes good. At Atlantic Union College, we stress that it needs to not only look good and taste good, like Nick alluded to, we want it to have good presentation, but it also needs to be medicinal and it needs to be nutritional. Because those 4 factors is what God wants us to have in our food.
Right.
And so if Nick opened up his own place up there in Berrien Springs, and somebody came in and said, I have an infection. Nick has the knowledge that he can say, well, let me whip up a cranberry smoothie for you with a little bit of kiwi in it, and it fixes for what ails her. A lot of people have a negative connotation for medicinal. And so they think, well, that's castor oil or something that I have to choke down. No.
Something that's horrible.
This is healthy because it has whole wheat in it. It has the protein. It does have a lot of Florida crystals in it. So we have to watch our moderation.
Absolutely.
So, but we can have food and eat it without guilt. It doesn't have to be something we choke down because it's good for us.
And you know what I like about it too, Rob, you're talking about medicinal, is that we're not just saying, okay, take a pill. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you need this pill or you need this or that. But the foods that we eat make us healthier. Because I think that's the way God intended it, the way He created us.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
And so...
Very nice. Give us a quick rundown of, say, the classes you got there going on.
Okay, we have quantitative food prep 1 and 2. We have vegan, vegetarian, the nutritional standards. We have that taught by a registered nurse. We also have a raw class that we do. We also have, trying to think, my eyes kind of roll when I think.
What's in the raw class?
It's just
like
everything raw.
Salad?
Yes. Not only salad, but you can make a lasagna that way, and you can make spaghetti that way. You can make potato chips that way, fruit roll-ups and things. You can use a dehydrator when you're using raw foods, and so you can bring it up to a heat not to exceed like 110 degrees. And so it's very delicious, the things that you learn in that. Also, you have sanitation. We want you to be a serve-safe manager when you get done.
That's very important, the health aspect of all of these things.
Exactly. And then culinary math is another thing that they learn, how to convert grams over into ounces and then into pounds and cups and tablespoons and things. Restaurant law, I believe, is another one that we teach. That's all in the 1-year certificate program. Eventually, we'd like to add on, make it a 2-year program. Maybe do a cooking in the bush or something where they make their own adobo oven or something, pulling up clay by the river.
That sounds kind of fun.
So we want the students to come away from there having the skills to do missionary work or work in hospitals or schools or institutions like that, or be able to start up their own catering industry or a restaurant, or be able to make a significant positive influx to the bottom line of any restaurant.
That's right. That's what's so important. That's right. Well, I'm excited. We had a really good time, both of you. Thank you for coming and for sharing what you've learned through the program and demonstrating this recipe for us. That was really good. And thank you too, Rob. We had such a good time. I learned so many tips about baking and stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
And we hope you friends had just as much fun watching this program and writing down all those recipes as we did. And I know I learned a lot of things. I hope you did too. And we're sure you'd like to contact Rob. You'd like him to come to a cooking school or something in your area. Maybe you're interested in the vegan culinary program there at Atlantic Union College. I know I'm real interested in that. Not for me to go, but it sounds very interesting. If I were younger, I'd like it. But here's the information that you need to contact them for yourself.
If you are interested in inviting Rob to your cooking school, or if you'd like to know more about AUC's vegan culinary program, then you can write to Atlantic Union College, 338 Main Street, South Lancaster, Massachusetts, 01561. That's Atlantic Union College, 338 Main Street, South Lancaster, Massachusetts, 01561. Or you can email him at rob.beaton@auc.edu. That's rob.beaton@auc.edu. Contact him today and eat better tomorrow.